The bad news is it's raining outside, but there's a little blue sky here and there, so we might get a break. I have something special for people interested in paramotors. This looks just like my paramotor, but it's not. If you're keen-eyed, you'll see that this guy right here is gigantic. This is the Tornado 280. Oh, also it has 3 props on the back instead of 2. They are setting this up for me right now. It's kind of set up for me. I think they might put anti-torque lamels on it too. They're going to give me a chance to fly it and see what's up. It's the same weight as my motor, which is really light. It's kind of an industry leader in that regard. It vibrates less. I've been saying I don't care about vibration, and that's mostly true. Like, the pilot version of me doesn't care about vibration. It's like 29th on my list of things that I care about. But the YouTube version of me cares a little, because I feel like sometimes when I talk it does a little kind of thing, like talking through a fan. If my audio got slightly better because it vibrated less, then that would be a plus. More thrust makes it easier to launch, especially if you're a heavy guy, like even heavier than me. You might want a ton of thrust, and it makes you climb faster, makes launches easy, makes getting up to acro altitude fast, flying smaller wings better. We're going to give this thing a shot. Right now it's experimental, kind of a prototype, but Aviator PPG is here testing. If there's any things that make it unreliable, they catch it before they sell it to any customer. I know with the Nitro 200, they found a couple issues before they sold it to customers, and it's been a really reliable motor. So they're doing that again with the Tornado 280. Sometimes the paramotor world can be a little cliquey, and people are like, oh my god, they found issues in testing, it's terrible. But I look at it differently. If they find issues in testing, that's awesome. Hopefully, the weather breaks and we give this thing a fly. Let's hit this. Oh wow! Holy smokes! Jeez! Alright, so I want to share some impressions right out of the gate. One, I was not expecting the thrust to be this different. I thought, because I flew a Moster 185 Plus yesterday, I flew Tucker Gott's motor, and that's a powerful motor too. But I don't know, like, something about the way this swings you forward and goes, it was attention grabbing. It's something I'd have to adjust to, the extra power. I don't know what it was. I didn't really feel it in my first 2 steps. It was like I felt it at launch, you know, like as my feet left the ground, it was boom! Like that was I'm still adjusting to, like, good Lord. Jesus. When you give it full power, I'm going to use my hands, your body swings forward and your wing is like hanging back. Gosh darn. Oh jeez. Even 3/4 power is an angle I'm not accustomed to. So, I'm a little scared. My expectation was that only the power would be different, that everything else would be the same, because everything else is pretty much the same. Like, the belt's a little bit wider that drives the prop so that it can be more powerful. The cylinder has more displacement. The exhaust is different. I think it's lighter. It's a little bigger but thinner than the old exhaust. And just a couple little changes, but by and large, the paramotor has a lot of components in common with the one I fly every day. Still, like, the difference in thrust, holy cow, like, it, to be like, I didn't say it out loud, but in my head I was like, do I like this? I think I do. I just have to get used to it. You know what it is? Like, my truck is not very powerful. I have a Toyota Tacoma, but it's 15 years old and all worn out.
And I routinely floor it, you know, like when I get on the highway, full power, no big deal. I have, you know, cruise settings I use, but flooring it is nothing. And that's kind of how I fly my paramotor. You know, if I want to climb or something, rock on, full power. This is like owning a Dodge Hellcat or something. Like, you have to get used to throttle settings that aren't full power, because you don't always want to, like, God damn. Like, yeah. I think I've just become accustomed to flying. Like, hey, I either want idle, level, or full power. And this has usages for all the other settings, you know, half power, 3/4 power, etc. And I think I need to relearn throttle control if I want to fly this this motor. It's smooth too. You know, I keep saying to anyone that'll listen, like, I don't care how smooth the motor is, and I don't as a pilot. Like, I really don't care. It's not a thing that bothers me. But as a YouTuber, sometimes when I'm not smooth, it sounds like I'm talking through a fan because I'm vibrating. And this is more like a Woody's 185 Plus, like in that it's smooth. This thing is amazing. Wow, you know, I feel like I should be talking more. If this motor is as reliable as the Nitro 200, I think I might want one. I wasn't gonna get one. I had told myself, like, Woody, you have a perfectly fine paramotor. But man, I don't know. Wow. I mean, holy cow! I want to test if it circles and how the torque compensation works. So I've got no hands on the brakes, the trimmers are even. I'm full throttle, but I do have these anti-torque lamels installed. To my eye, at full throttle, it's almost straight. Uh-oh. All right, my motor just died. So that's exciting. I am at my best glide trim, and I'm like almost 100% sure I can make it back to the airport. I'm gonna try and restart it. It restarted. It's even running well.
It's me. I've had some time to think about what might have caused the motor to go out and then run perfectly afterwards. My current theory is that there was an air bubble in the fuel line. And I know that they have a new priming system, and they use like a 3D plate for the priming system. It might be a one-off. It might be something they're thinking about bringing to market. I don't know. But the fact that it was just cruise speed, turned off, and then worked great again. Fuel bubble? Maybe.
Prototype motor, you know? I'm asking myself, did I hit the kill switch? I'm not in the habit of kidding. No, it wouldn't. That's not it. Because the kill switch is a momentary switch, which means that, like, you have to hold it for it to work. I'll tap it. You see how that works? There's no way I was at cruise throttle and I hit the kill switch for so long that I killed it.
So I thought I'd take a moment to explain one of the things I felt like I didn't lay out very well in this video. When you hit full throttle, there is so much power at your back that the angle of attack changes. Now, I don't think power stalling is actually a thing that's ever happened from too much power. I could be wrong. What the heck do I know? But it always seems to be that it's actually torque or someone whose hang points are wrong or something like that. Just pure power doesn't seem to happen. But it's unnerving, and it's new to me. In paramotoring, there's something called bump tolerance. And so even though the situation is not dangerous, you're just kind of scared of it. Well, I feel like there's going to be a new thrust tolerance that I or anyone who has this motor would have to develop. When the wing goes from this to this, it's an unnerving feeling. And that's, I think, a lot of what was coming through in this first impressions video. It pushes like nothing I've flown before. And I've flown 4 different paramotors. So it's not a ton, but it's something new. It's something new that we haven't seen.
Well, that was my tornado flight. Amazing motor, still a prototype. But man, amazing motor.
Multi-million-dollar deals got $1 million deal. When I was younger, I would wonder how $1 million feel. And for real, it feel like I ain't even broke a seal. Cause when you drop hits, they want you to pick up the bill. Now my life is in Maryland, my heart is in Chicago. New York state of mind, but out LA, man, that's where I go. When I need to lay this shit down, so much on my mind, that's the reason I'm spitting now.